Welcome to Secret Life. In Secret Life, you will be reminded to look. Look up or look down. Look around you. Really. Look. Don't you think it is time for a reboot? A refresh? Secret Life is a process. You have arrived to the exact place and time for your assimilation. I am the guide. Hello, you are here 36.0626 degrees north by 94.15474 degrees west. You have arrived to the exact place and time for your assimilation. I am the guide, and I am here to welcome you to the secret life of downtown Fayetteville. I've been waiting for you. I want to show you something, and we don't have a lot of time. Over the next hour, I will ask you to follow me. We will look for echoes of the past together. We will contemplate the present. This will be a multi-sensory, multi-century experience. We will sit, walk, and search for clues together. But be mindful of the spatial relationship between you and the cars, the people, the buildings. Not everyone can see you. You are also a ghost. Don't you think it is time for a reboot, a refresh? Secret Life is a process. Look around you. You are living a secret life now. Let's get started. Assimilation, Secret Life of downtown Fayetteville. Are you ready? Have a seat and listen.
This is Fayetteville. Fayetteville is the most important city in Northwest Arkansas, the educational, social, and commercial center of a prosperous section of the great state. Our city is located upon the main line of the St. Louis and San Francisco Railway, a system embracing more than 15,000 miles, reaching all of leading markets of the West, Northwest, South, and Southwest. Minnesota on the north, Louisiana and Alabama on the south, Indiana on the east, and Colorado on the west. Fayetteville is 350 miles from St. Louis, 112 miles south of Springfield, Missouri, and 65 miles north of Fort Smith, Arkansas. Fayetteville had a population of 6,000 by 1904 and is the judicial seat of Washington County. It currently has a population of 78,960 before sororities and fraternities are included, and approximately 6 million afterwards.
Walk south. Using the crosswalk, go south on Block Ave. You will cross and walk down Block. Block is the street that passes the right side of West Mountain Brewery. It is the street that heads down a hill. As you head down, feel yourself move through space, pushing through the air. Imagine you are gliding down this incline, just inches above the pavement, dipping and bobbing in the breeze. Can you imagine the earth spinning underneath you? The dirt, the crust, the core. Can you feel the earth spinning? Hold when you reach the dumpsters. Go no further than the dumpsters. Once you have reached the dumpsters, find a place to stand in safety. Take a look at the wall opposite the dumpsters. Palimpsest, a noun, an object reused or altered but still bearing visible traces of its earlier form. A building is sometimes a palimpsest. Say the word aloud with me. Palimpsest. Doesn't it feel good to say the word palimpsest? The word is a poem in itself. Do you see the palimpsest on the back of this old building? Look to the bottom of the building first, and then scan up. See where the rock and brick are different. They represent the many stages of rebuild on this site. The foundation has been reused, but so was part of that wall. See? See where there was a window. Who looked out that window? What did they see? Is this a building? Or is this a cave? Drift ahead through this urban cavern to the parking garage and find the stalagmite and stalactite. That's right. Deep inside this urban cave, you can find this natural phenomenon. But you must drift deep. Remember, soft focus. Do you feel that? That's a magnetic pull. That's a drift. Let's drift through this urban cavern and find the secret life. Look deep. You will find them if you find the water drip. They also say there is buried treasure under here. Drift deep into this cavern and search for the treasure. Is it X marks the spot? Did you find it? No. Look in parking space 4. There. See the puddle? Now look up where the water drips. That is the beginning of a stalactite. Where it lands, the small orange mound is the beginning of a stalagmite. Imagine, thousands of years from now, after centuries of that drip, this garage could truly be a cavern. Do you feel that? Is the air different down here? If you are not already there, drift to the patio, the place that is surrounded by other places, the place that opens up to the sky. Now drift within this space using soft focus. Once you are on the patio, find a spot to stand. Breathe. Imagine if your eyes could breathe. Imagine a breath, a sigh through the lids of your eyes. When your focus is soft, you can see more. Who was the first person to stand here? And then who next? What was it like before a person ever stood here? Think of this. If you were standing in this spot in 1903, you would be below ground. Above you would be a warehouse full of dry goods and other wares sold in the shops on the south side of the square. Point south. Those were Staples. Now turn 180 degrees. Point north and up. That's the dry goods store. Over 100 years later, it is torn down to build the Palace Theater. Point north, up, and to the right. In 1904, there stood a piano shop. In 1896, on that same ground, stood a printing press. And in 1913, the same building was used for a bowling alley and a restaurant. Point more to the right. That was a large grocer's. Point more to the right. That's a hardware store. And next to that was a confectionery and a grocer's. And before that it was a milliner's shop and drugstore, which was next to a clothing store. No, a hardware store. Yes, it later became a hardware store, and then a grocer's, and later a shoe store. But long ago it was a one-story frame building that housed the J.T. Ham News Depot and Post Office. Of course, that was burned during the war. Now go up. You will find access through liminal spaces, such as
going up,
or once you have arrived to the outdoor plaza, look around. But remember, you can see with more than your eyes. What is that smell? From which direction is the wind coming? What is the name of this place in your language? What was the language of your ancestors? Think of that. Where do you come from? Do you know the name for this place in your ancestors' language?
The Fayetteville Square, bounded by Center, East, Block, and Mountain Streets, has been the hub of commercial activity since the town was founded. The first lots were auctioned off in 1835 by an auctioneer named A. Winery. There must have been a curious array of buyers from many different states. Different types of people were transplanted to what was once primitive, makeshift, and hard-scrabble surroundings. There were hunters, businessmen, lawyers, preachers, teachers, craftsmen, traders. Many of them beardy, hardy, fearless men. Many of them polished and well-educated. Many of them who bore the burden of leadership.
David Walker paid $10 for the lot where Ferguson Lumber Company used to stand. Jason Bigelow bought the Bank of Fayetteville corner lot for $100. McClellan paid $125 for the corner that is now Tim's Pizza and West Mountain Brewery. James Burnside bought the northeast corner of the East Square Plaza building corner for $100. George Frislago paid $131 for the site where the city administration building is. Someone bought a 40-gallon copper still, oak tan leather, reel hooks, tooth scythes and crades, 60 sugar troughs of white ash timber, 1 spinning wheel. Someone sold 50 gallons of soft soap, hams, bacon, lard, sorghum, molasses, 6 foxhounds, all soft-mouthed except 1. Someone also sold 6 Negro slaves, 2 men, 35 and 50 years old, 2 mulatto wenches, 30 and 40 years old, 2 boys not to be separated. Terms of sale, cash, or not to draw 4% interest, $7,000. Shh, listen. Look around you. You are standing on the south side of the Fayetteville downtown square. What do you see? Do you see the secret life? Look closer. You are standing on the bones of buildings. You are walking through ghosts now. This is the site of the Buckhorn restaurant run by Nathan Dixon, a freedman in the early 1880s, famous for his 10-cent lunches and 50-cent dinners. Do you see the bear? The silly, friendly one in the giant mural on the west side of the Stephen K. Stone building that stands just east of you. Do you see the bear? Go find it. This building has housed the C.C. Connor Grocery Store, the Fair Store, Goff Brothers Groceries, Coleman's Shoe Store, and Davison's Shoe Store. Ranging from insurance companies to theater companies, this building is the home of 27 offices of businesses, and at least one covered well, which is undoubtedly where the conquistador put his treasure, but we'll never know. Move west. Travel through the ghost buildings. The next 5 two-story buildings are no more. They were demolished in the early 1970s. Repeat after me. Goodbye, Hilton Brothers Furniture. Goodbye, Cy Carney's Appliance. Farewell, Laner Shoes. We miss you, Waffle House, W.G. Shipley Baking Company, People's Cafe, Bud Post and Hardware, and the New York Store. Goodbye. Now, look for the Jolly Roger. Search high and low. Do you see it? X marks the spot. Look above the old post office. See? Yes. Now, look to the left. Find the Visitors Bureau Center with your eyes. Now point to it. See the flower beds the city so thoughtfully designed for its grateful citizens. Doesn't that look inviting? Meet me there in a sec. The first chapter of Secret Life of Downtown Fayetteville is over. Chapter 2 will resume when you press play on the track titled Chapter 2.